Hey guys, a little bit of a different episode today. We got a submission tier list. I shot out a story on Instagram asking everyone to give me a bunch of different submissions, and you guys showed up big time. I got a list of I think I narrowed it down a little bit, but I had like 80 different submissions in here. I think we have like 65 in here. A few of them I had to throw away. I tried to keep the funny ones in for the most part, but yeah. So purposes today, just have some fun. Just a little fun thing. My criteria for rating the submissions is how effective they are as a submission, first and foremost. The utility that they provide. I'm going to take into account what happens if you fail the submission, like how much risk are you putting yourself into. I'm also going to look at, consider style points. Is it cool? And then just personal preference. So, I might just be like, I like this submission better than that one. Tough. Obviously, this is all my opinion, so this is just kind of how I feel. Let me get this out of the way, and we'll get going. So how I'm going to do this, if you haven't seen a tier list before, or if you're new to this, basically, you have S tier through F, S being like superb or the best. The best, and then F being like, this is terrible. And it also left to right. So like if I put something here, it's going to be better than the spot that's put here, right, as it goes through. But anything in this tier is going to be better than the next tier. So anything I put in B is better than C. But then within B, it also matters the placement. So I'll move things as we go. I'm just going to grab things at random. Don't worry if these are just really small. I'll make them bigger and then make them smaller to fit in here. I just had to get them all on the screen so I could play with them. So I'm just going to grab a random one and right off the bat. The Darce choke. Darce. Love that choke. I didn't use it much before last year, but it's good. I'm going to put this... Honestly, I think it's such an effective choke, and it's so easy to manipulate the person. I'm going to put that high A tier just right off the bat, and we'll see if that changes as I go. I'm almost thinking like low S tier, but I'm thinking high A tier right now just because, it provides so much utility. I mean, it's so easy to collapse people down with that. If you don't hit the choke, it transitions really well with a bunch of other submissions, obviously on this list. And grab one from the top. Americana. Classic move, not super hard to defend against. As you get better at jiu-jitsu, it's effective. It's a super effective, like, white belt, big guy move. What do I want to do with this one? I'm going to put that in the B tier. It's solid. It's good. It's a good submission. It's a good submission. Not flashy, but effective. Does the job. Works well. The Anaconda choke. Great choke. I've been using this a decent amount too, especially since I've been working on my front headlocks from Turtle. I'm going to put this in the B tier. I'm going to put it above an Americana, so I'm going to move that guy over. I'm going to put that above Americana. Next up, the ankle lock or the Achilles lock. Boom. Great submission. Usually the first ankle or leg lock that you learn. I'm going to put this A tier. Let me think. Darce or ankle? I'm going to put it under the Darce. I just think that with the Darce, you can control their whole body. Ankle lock, you can't necessarily do that, but good. I'm going to have to resize these probably. All right, so next up, this is a classic. The armbar. I mean, what's more to say there? Great submission. One of the first ones you learn. Super effective. You're not risking too much if they're able to escape. It's not the best. Can have some crazy style points. That's going S tier for me. Starting strong. We'll see where that ends up. It's definitely not my number one for sure. All right. Next one we have an arm-in guillotine. This is a great submission too. we're just starting strong with these. This is a great submission too. Why is the Darce is on the top layer, I guess. I don't think I put that above a Darce, but they're so kind of linked there. I mean, it's like the same thing. I think just because in my experience, you usually have to finish it from a guard position, I'm going to put it in A. Actually, I'm going to put it in B. I know they're like very closely linked. I'm going to put it high B. I mean, it's a great submission, but I feel like somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but usually you're going to finish an arm in guillotine from guard versus the other ones where you can finish from the top, which I'm going to give a this one's good to go. Give more credence to. I feel like I need to purposely go to a bad one. Arm triangle, great. I'm actually going to bump that up. I have a harder time hitting that over some of the other moves, but I mean, it's so good. You're choking them. You're on top of them. I mean, what more do you want, right? So that's just taking over S tier top right now. A Baratoplata. This is something that I don't do really at all. I think one thing, I think I've been hit with every single submission on this list, and I've hit almost all of them. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I know the Buggy's coming up, and I have not hit a Buggy on anyone. But the rest of these I have hit. A Baratoplata. I think it's a little... I find it a little hard to get to, a little awkward. It works. I mean, it's good. I'm going to open that up, our C tier here with a Baratoplata. We have a gi-specific baseball choke. Ooh, my dog is not happy about something. Somebody must be here that shouldn't be. Gi baseball bat choke. This is good. This is a good choke. I mean, it's the gi, so you gotta kind of like knock some points off. I'm gonna put that low B for now. It's a good choke. It's a good choke. I don't mean to knock it. Bicep slicer. I love me a good bicep slicer. I think it's situational, especially when you got guys that are really good and comfortable in these situations where they can just relax their arm. It's kind of crazy how that negates a bicep slicer. But if you're ever in one, just relax your arm. It doesn't mean you're like going to 100% get out of it, but it does kind of cancel it out. So I'm going to put it, while I love bicep slicers and I think they're great and I like to use them often, I'm going to put that C tier. Above a Baratoplata. This one, okay, so now we get the first of kind of our funny ones. Or not that it's like super ridiculous here, but a body triangle for the submission. So this is somebody, you're getting submitted by a body triangle. It's definitely a thing. I think paired with a rear naked choke, which we haven't talked about yet, which wink, wink, that's going to be a good one. I think that there's more credence to it, but like, honestly, I'm going to drop that right there. That's not good. I'll bump it up to E tier because it definitely can work. Like, it's situational, but like if you get somebody that's a lot bigger than you that can easily wrap their legs around you and tighten it up, they're also just a lot bigger than you, like I don't know. All right. This is definitely a funny one. I don't know if this person actually trained jiu-jitsu, whoever submitted this, but the Boston Crab, if you hit this is some pretty crazy style points. I don't know. This would be like a spinal thing, right? And you're not really twisting it. So I don't know how effective it would be. I mean, it probably sucks. This isn't a great application. Like, he is turning, but I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of twist thing. I think you probably have a better chance with that than the body triangle. So I'm going to throw that in a good old D tier because it doesn't look good, right? Like, it doesn't look like you want to be there, but just not enough. It's just not tested. The bow and arrow choke. Love it. This was my go-to move back when I used to compete a lot in the gi. I would try to get somebody's back and choke them out with that. That was the game plan. Literally, that was my game plan every time. I'm bumping that up. That's so hard to get out of. Like escaping the back in Nogi is a different beast, or than escaping it in the gi. That's, I mean, in the gi it's hard, especially when you have one of those in. The Buggy Choke. So this is the first submission, and it might be the only one, minus the Boston Crab, that I haven't really hit on anyone. It's a relatively newer choke, and it definitely requires some flexibility. I also just haven't been taught it, like how it's supposed to be done, but I've been in it, and it's good. I think it's situational. I think you definitely need to be careful with it. I think it depends on your body type. Like, so how, I probably should have put in like how difficult in the criteria. I didn't even think about that. Well, I'm a black belt, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it low B tier. I think it's good. I think it's definitely got a place for it. I'm going to have to make these smaller. A Bulldog Choke. This looks pretty nasty. I don't know how often you get here. I would put this C tier. I'm going to have to resize all these. I'm going to have to pause at some point when I get more in and redo all these. All right. Calf Slicer. I love me some slicers. I think it's a little bit more difficult to deal with than a bicep slicer, especially because it sets you up for, like, if you extend your leg to defend the bicep slicer, you're putting yourself into a heel hook. So this is kind of that utility piece where, like, maybe it's not super, like, you're not going to get it every time. You definitely can. But their natural defense for it just puts them in a really bad position. What am I thinking here? I'm thinking I'm gonna go right above the bicep slicer and put it in the B tier here. My phone is bugging out. Hold on a second. My girlfriend found a dress for a wedding that we're going to. Can opener. Somebody had neck crank in here. I don't think I differentiated, which I was thinking about maybe I should, but I left it at this. This can be hard to deal with. I don't think it's super effective as if the person doesn't know how to defend, it's very effective. And this guy clearly doesn't because he's staying in a guard. So if you don't know how to defend, I think it's very effective, but let's assume somebody does. I'm going to put that in the trash can D tier here, the trash can opener. All right. The Canto Choke, I put it in red. That's where you like pull through with the I couldn't find a better picture than that. So Keenan's doing this kind of like crazy situation here, but basically this is wrapped around the gi and he's pulling it. Gets that choke. I love that stuff. I used to pair that with my reverse triangle. This might come as a shocker, but honestly, I'm bumping that up to A tier. I think that's a fantastic choke. The clock choke. I'm terrible at the clock choke. But it is good. I used to have a training partner that would just get it on everyone. Shout out to Joe Bombato. It's a beast. I'm going to put that B tier. And my B tier is filling up. B tier down here. Now, I think I move everything over. I'm going to stick that in right here. I didn't get a fancy system because I had to make so many of these, and I like this. Let me search for this program. Let me search for the pictures within it, and I just was like, one day when I have the time to do like 10 hours of prep for one video, hopefully I get there. I would love to, but not right now. Cross collar choke. I mean, this is a classic cross collar choke. I don't have to talk too much about this. Super effective. I'll put that. It's not super hard to defend, but I mean it does pair with the armbar. I'm gonna put that in the A tier, but at the top of the A tier. Because that's also another one where you can really control somebody with that. What do we got here? Oh, the Crucifix Armbar. So it's an armbar from a crucifix. This is a great armbar. I do feel like it's relatively easy. The escape this is a good one for utility. I don't think it's super effective as a submission. I mean, it's effective as a submission. I don't think it's that hard to defend as a submission, but it puts you into a really bad situation, right? It exposes your neck for the short choke. It's putting you into the Kimuras, into the side triangles. So it's I think utility wise, it's good. I'm gonna put that in C tier, but above all these guys. Do I think that's, yeah, I think that's appropriate. I mean, if it was just on its own, it would be lower, but I think it sets you up nicely for other things. The double arm bar. I've been caught with this, and I've caught people with it, but not for a long time. I'm going to, I feel like the fact that the Boston Crab's there, the potential for the Boston Crab, I don't think it's that bad. I would say I might have to come back to this one. This might be an F tier. That might be an F tier. The electric chair, just because, sorry about the double armbar, just because you can't, it's hard to get that like breaking pressure. The electric chair. This is one, oh no, I have done this. And I've been putting it definitely sucks. It's essentially a banana split. It's good. It sucks. I'm gonna put that. I'm just looking at the B and the C tier. And would that fit? I think that's like a low B tier. Yeah, I'm already like running out of space. This is terrible. Yeah, I'm thinking B tier. I think B tier. I think it sets you up nicely for other things. All right. If I randomly pause and I think the Estima Lock, classic submission. This thing hurts. It's not hard to do. Doesn't require a lot of skill, and it's effective. It is effective. I'm gonna put that high B tier, and I'm gonna pause and resize this so when you come back, it'll look good. All right, this might be a temporary solution, but I've just extended the B tier box because I'm getting rid of some submissions here, so maybe that's my temporary solution. The Ezekiel choke from the gi. This is shout out to Zach. I used to think this was kind of a joke. Not a joke. I didn't put a lot of respect on the Ezekiel's name in the gi. But I've come to appreciate this, especially when you put yourself in a situation where the other person has double unders. Like, you could just throw your hands over and just choke them. And you used to do that from standing. I'm going to put this, a lot of B tiers. B's like it's just a solid submission, right? It's not like things that you might necessarily be looking for constantly. They're more like opportunistic. I would say like B tier is more like opportunistic. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Dars is an A. Yeah, like I feel like they're just more opportunistic. Do I like that there? No, I think it's better than all these minus the guillotine. So let me fix that. All right, so I have that right here, the Ezekiel choke in the gi, and now we have the Nogi Ezekiel. Oh, don't do that. The Nogi Ezekiel. Shout out to Ricky, who's made me a fan of this. I think that unless you have a specific body type, this is pretty hard to hit. This is going to be a weird placement. I'm going to put it in C tier, but like with the caveat that this could be like A or potential S tier, depending on your body type. Like for Ricky, it's an S tier, right? But where do I think it goes in C tier? Is it? Yeah, honestly, I'm going to put that bottom of C tier. Footlock from the back. So that's where you cross your feet and you throw your legs over and you catch that stupid submission. It's not, I mean, it does work. Honestly, I see that happen more often from than like a body triangle or anything. But I mean, just don't do that and you don't get caught there. Shout out to John from Gracie Sports, though. He used to force people into that and did some like nasty thing. But again, unless you have specific things here. The forearm slicer, there was no picture of this because this is my move. And I didn't have a picture of me doing it. So I need to figure that out. The Forearm Slicer. The jury's still out on this one. It's kind of hard to get to. It's pretty hard to get to in the gi. I mean, you could do it. I'm going to put this. It's more proactive than some of these other moves. But it is kind of like, yeah, I mean, there's no way it's in the crucifix position. It's definitely not above any of these, though. Yeah, I don't think... It's hard to defend, though. I'm going to stick this here for now. This might change in the future. Maybe I'll do this in a year from now and see like if there's any major changes. All right. The Brabo Choke. It's the gi version of the Darce Choke. That's a good choke. I don't use it that much, but I think it is good. I think it's a little convoluted when you have the Darce available, to be honest. So I'm going to put this... I'm either thinking low B or high C. I'm thinking high C. Just because of how, like, I don't know. I mean, I might be just biased because of how much time I've been putting into Nogi, and my Darce is not like great. Like, I've just been really like putting a lot of work into it recently. So I don't know. The Gogoplata. This is like the classic. Everybody loves this thing. Although it's just not. It's kind of trash. I'm putting that at the king of the D tier here. No Fs yet. I don't know if we're going to have any Fs. Maybe I should have just taken that out. Maybe that's like too low. Or maybe double armbar gets that and eventually ends up down there. The banana split. The banana split sucks. That is not a fun move to be put into. I don't know why I don't see it more. It's not like that hard to hit. I'm gonna put it B, low B. It's good, like straight up. It's a good submission. You don't see it that much though. The guillotine. You know. Yeah, you just can't. It's the guillotine. I mean, you're controlling their head. You have them in massive danger. This is going straight up. Do I put it? It's S tier, but. I mean, go figure. Your S tiers are gonna be those classic submissions, those basic submissions, but they're just so strong. So I put it above the armbar. I don't think it goes above the arm triangle, just because of how much control you get with an arm triangle. But the guillotine is so versatile. I'm thinking it's above the armbar. Just because of how versatile, not the armbar isn't, but the guillotine is so versatile, and the amount of energy that people have to put in to get out of that. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, and you're thinking like maybe you get a mounted guillotine. You know, that's gonna be hard. Ooh, back to back heavy hitters here. We have our heel hook now. I mean, that's obviously going in S tier 2. I don't know. Does that go number 1? It's hard to, you know, here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I can put in the S tier itself. I don't know if I can put non-chokes ahead of the chokes. Like, you can't tough out a choke, and not that you should tough out heel hooks, but like people do it. And you know, and then they don't walk. So I'm not not saying you should do it, and but like I'm moving guillotine, and I just did that subconsciously. Shoot, I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Honestly, yeah, I think I got to do it. I think it goes right in here. Breaks my heart right now that this is number 1, but it won't be. I already know what my number 1 is. It's probably a lot of our sames. The Hindulotine. Did I spell that? It's supposed to be Hindu? I think it's supposed to be Hindu, isn't it? Hold on a second. Yes, the Hindulotine. I had it spelled wrong. My apologies. My keyboard is 10 years old, kind of crapping out. So the O's have been like double pressing and like pressing randomly. It breaks my heart. It's a gorgeous keyboard. But I think it is time to get a new one. The Hindulotine. This looks ridiculous. I hit this one time when I was a white belt, and I had no idea what it was. This was 2009. I had no idea what this was. I just like remember throwing somebody in it and being like, what did I just do? That was sick. But I was a white belt, and I was against another white belt, and we had no idea what I did, and that was that. But it was good. It felt great. No, take that back. I did not hit this. I see his two hands are here. I hit some kind of variation of a triangle with my hands in. The Hindulotine, that looks just nuts. It looks like it's very effective, but very convoluted to get into. I'm going to throw that. King of the C tier, which I don't want to upset anyone. I think that it's probably good. But it's just not quite. It just looks so ridiculous. Which is like hurting it right now instead of helping it with the style points. I'll fix that later. I know that's annoying. Let's see if we can get through a few of these before I have to go and resize everything. The Japanese necktie. The Japanese necktie, that might be a move. No, I have hit that. I don't have enough experience with it. I'm going to throw it B tier because I mean, it's just chokes are just, in my opinion, chokes are just going to be better than joint locks in general for the most part. And I want to give it a little bit of credit here. I think it's a low B tier. I'm also not just doing that to be lazy because I don't want to, Kesa Crush, otherwise known as the Camel Crush, I believe. The Kesa Gatama Crush. Yeah, this can suck. It's not for everyone. I don't like it. It's very size dependent. And yeah, I'm gonna have to resize this because I want to put it in the C tier. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm just gonna keep going with making it bigger. This is fine. All right, Kesa Crush. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this one. Not in a bad way. The Kimura. The Kimura is so good. Oof. This might be controversial. It might not be. I don't know. Depends on how I'll explain in a second. But as you can see me highlighting all the S tiers right now. Let's move on over. We got a new king in town. The Kimura. The Kimura, the reason I put it so high, first of all, if you actually go through with a Kimura, it's devastating. Like, you're going to destroy somebody's arm. And I know most of us think of the heel hook as like, or the twister, which we haven't gotten to yet, as like the big like kind of breaking maneuvers we have in jiu-jitsu, but and like obviously a heel can be devastating, like that's your ability to move around, but like Kimura will jack you up. The other thing is, so the Kimura is fantastic just as a submission, but that second thing, that utility, I mean, you can completely manipulate somebody. If you get somebody, if I get a Kimura from closed guard, just the lock, just the Kimura lock, like I don't even have to finish it. I can navigate all the way to your back with that thing and take your back and then finish the Kimura from the back if I want, or your arm's trapped and I can go for my rear naked choke to finish. It's such a good submission. Really, I can't say enough positive things about it. Neon belly as a submission. I'm not gonna lie, I have done this to a few people. They 1,000% deserved it. I would never do this. There's a very few times where there's just some people that I'll save the story for another day, because it's a great story and it's a long one. But it's not a kind one. But just believe me that this person deserved it. I had two people that I did to, that I've done this to, and it's nice to have. It's more of a style point thing, but there's no reason for you to be tapping into neon belly. You should be able to get out of there. I'm debating between D, E, and F right now. I mean, I got to put something in F, right? But I feel like it's I think it's here. Well, I don't know. It's so, you know what? No, I'm gonna put it higher up in the D tier just because it's bad. Like I mean, it's not like, I'm thinking if now, like if an untrained person gets put in this, like that's really bad. Like someone's just driving their knee into your solar plexus. You're probably freaking out, like not knowing how to defend it. It's not a good situation. The knee bar. We got some good ones left in here. I definitely am not gonna have enough room. I have to resize some of these. The knee bar. Let's go. I'm gonna go A tier with this guy. I think it goes right between the Dars and the Achilles lock, to be honest. Knee bar's great. Can't knock a knee bar. A knee bar, as it was submitted. Knee bar. A lockdown as a submission, much like the knee on belly as a submission. I think this one holds a little bit more credence. Like if you don't know how to deal with this can be pretty not fun to deal with. But I also don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I feel like I'm just inviting people to just tap me out with all these terrible positions now. I should put some putting a target on my back. Should be fun to deal with. Okay. The loop choke. So the loop choke's up next. Different than just like a collar choke. So this is much like it says you're looping the lapel around their neck and pulling. Very similar to the Canto. I actually, you'd be surprised, I love the loop choke. When I play butterfly guard in the gi, one of the things I'll do is when I have an arm across their like cross body, so cross shoulder post, I'll grab into their gi and drive my elbow up, and as they drive their head in, it chokes them. And every now and then, if I feel like it, I'll loop the gi right around their head and punch my hand in, and you get a good choke right there. And you can manipulate them pretty well. I hate to adjust the entire B tier. Is it A? Where'd I put the cross collar choke? Did I not put the cross collar in A? Oh, cross collar's first today. Yeah, I honestly, it's up there. It's A. It's A. A lot of chokes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chokes so far up top. It'll be interesting after to see the Mir Lock. Ooh, love this this submission as well. I don't do this so much because it hurts people and it's kind of mean, and you kind of have to rip at it. So like from a safety perspective, it's not great, but I'm going to take safety out of this. Honestly, this is a pretty nuts submission. I'm going to put this, I'm going to pause and put this top of B tier. Yeah, I like that guy. Mir Lock right here, top of B. The Monoplata. This is another one I have not hit too often, but good submission nonetheless. I think that goes, it's B or C. It's either the end of B or the top of C. Let me see. Honestly, actually, it's definitely B. I'm gonna put it in front of the calf slicer. Just because it's a pretty devastating attack that you can like throw your whole body into, and it is from the top. I do favor those submissions that leave you on top of your opponent. So like kind of like that risk if you fail kind of thing. But yeah, ooh, I'm glad I did all this prep because like I forgot about some of these. Not that I would ever forget about the North-South choke. The North-South choke, I love this choke. I think it's great, has great utility. Really tough to deal with. Not a lot of people do it. So not a lot of people know how to defend it. It's going A. I think just because of how difficult it can be, it used to be so hard. I love JiuJitsu, man. The North-South choke used to be like so hard for me to hit, but I knew it plugged in so well with my game that I didn't give up on it. Much like I gave up on Darce chokes a long time ago, and then they've recently come back in. But I stuck with the North-South choke. I'm like, I'm going to get this thing down. And I got it down, and I love it. But it's a hard choke, so I'm going to put it low A. Honestly, if that choke was easier to hit, like, if I didn't have to put, maybe it's just me, I had to put so much time into it, I would put it higher. But I just don't think that, like, it's the easiest thing to get down. An oil check. This was, I forgot who submitted this, but thank you, whoever did. An oil check. There we go. Finally, an F tier. Omoplatas. Okay. I think the Omoplata serves a purpose, and I feel like people... This was the first submission I ever hit, by the way. So I'm saying this with like an affinity for the Omoplata. I love the Omoplata. I think it's a great utility move. I think it definitely lends to you getting up on top of someone. And depending on how they react, I mean, it could be a pretty devastating top position. I think paired with some other submissions, it's really, really good. But honestly, I'm just hovering it here. Don't it's not. I'm looking between like B and C or I'm just checking out what I have here. Is it better than these? Yeah. Okay. So B. We're looking at B. Is it better than these? Some of these, yeah. I would take an Americana over an Omoplata. But what you can get out of an Omoplata, I think, is better than Americana. I think it goes right here. I think it goes right between the clock choke and the Americana. All right, yeah. I like that. I just put it here next to the Americana. Next up, the paper cutter. I don't hit this submission as much. I mean, you definitely could do it in no gi. I used to hit it a ton in the gi. I think it's a great submission, honestly. I think it pairs really well with a lot of my game, especially when you sweep and you have that cross shoulder post and the loop choke setup. I think it pairs really well with that. I'm looking at B just right off the bat. Let's see, what do we have here? I feel like these are like a hard. It's like these are the. What's it the gates? What do you call that? I feel like an idiot right now. The gateway, not the gateway. Gatekeepers. These are like the gatekeepers right now for A and S. Well, obviously that's how tier lists work, but like this is a pretty heavy gatekeeper here, right? Even the Ezekiel choke. I'm gonna put it right here between Anaconda and clock choke. Honestly, I think it's strong. All right, I've decided if I can't figure out how to get more room, I'm just gonna get rid of the E tier and make these F tier because F sounds funnier, and we don't nearly need all these. The Peruvian necktie. That is another one that I haven't hit too much. Where did I put the Japanese necktie? That was at the bottom of B. I like Peruvian food, but I like Japanese food too. Those are like two of my favorite foods right there. I need to learn these. I need to learn how to do these because I was thinking like, all right, I like Peruvian food better than Japanese food, but then I was like, wait, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm gonna put these right next to each other. Honestly, they're interchangeable to me because I don't know which one's better and which one's worse. I don't do them enough, but I'm gonna put some time in just due to my culinary tastes. And with that, I am gonna extend B and I'm gonna get rid of E. So hold on a second. All right, so we've lost our E tier. So joining oil check in the F tier, we have the body triangle and the double armbar. And then I put Japanese necktie first because I do love sushi. If I had to base this around food, I think the Japanese necktie would be top S tier. I'm just looking at everything else. Because I give it Americana with American food. I'm going to do another tier list based off of the culinary styles of which these submissions come from. And I'm not a picky eater, so that actually might be a fun thing. A punch choke. Love a punch choke. I love it so much. I remember I was rolling with Dean in the gi one time. He came for a gi class and he threw me in a triangle, and to escape it I just shoved the gi in his neck really hard, and I could tell that he wanted to cry because he was upset because he couldn't choke me out. Where does it go? Punch choke. We have. Is it better? Does it beat the gatekeepers here? The Mir Lock, the Estima Lock, and the Arm and Guillotine? I would say no. it's not that hard to defend. It also just kind of sets up. I mean, I use it a lot from inside the guard, and I actually never really get it as a submission finish. Yeah, you know what? I think it's gimmicky. It serves a purpose. I think it's got great utility, but like the number one is effectiveness as a submission. That's like my primary thing that I'm looking at. And then utility. If you look at something like the Kimura, you could absolutely finish with the Kimura, or you could absolutely transition to other things. It's kind of like your call, depending on the match or how it's going. Punch choke, it's generally going to be only for that utility purpose, that transition purpose. So I'm going to put it in C tier. I think it goes higher than some of these. I think I put it right between Crucifix and Bicep Slicer. Yeah, I like that. I just put it right here between Crucifix and Bicep Slicer. Okay. Crucifix Armbar, that is. Ooh, the heavy hitter right here. The rear naked choke. I mean, it is kind of lame when I feel like this one list. I'm going to do these again for like sweeps and takedowns and things like that. But I mean, it's the rear naked choke. It's the king of all submissions. Yeah, I mean, it also has great utility. Like if you I was just rolling with Angel last night and I got him into a rear naked choke and I didn't have it in perfectly. And, he's good black belt and wasn't tapping and defending it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to let this go. And then proceeded to do the rest of the round. Not the rest of like we continued until I eventually caught him with it, eventually sunk it in. But I was like, I'm not going to let this go. Like we're going to roll and I'm going to just use my legs to manipulate you now because he escaped the hooks. But I'm not letting this go. So just like the Kimura, you could use it for those purposes. But it's right up there. The reverse Kimura, I don't know if I've ever. Oh yeah, you can finish that. I don't think it's a great finisher, but it's definitely a great utility move. I'm gonna put that again. This is just based off of the effectiveness as a submission. Although I think it's gonna go above. Yeah, I think this stays here. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. I like it better than these. I feel like these are very similar moves, right? I'm actually going to put this above the Baratoplata because that's just a little bit more convoluted. Oh, and I like it more than the Bicep Slicer. And I like it more than the Punch Choke. And I like it. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I just moved all those, and I'm going to put them back because I think it belongs in B tier. All right, let's see. Yeah. I think it's better than all these. Okay, now we're starting to get. Yeah, you know what? Wow, that talk about a redemption arc. Let me fix all these now. I'm gonna put that all the way up here. I'm gonna put that right before the Omoplata. Honestly, because you know what? It's got so much utility, and it is a good submission. Like, you definitely can hit that. I'm glad I'm doing this. It's giving me a lot of ideas about things I want to work on. The reverse triangle. I love this thing. It's such a good submission. Just straight up, it's such a good submission. This is me being biased right now. This is personal preference coming in big time, number 5. But honestly, it's effective. It has great utility. It is a little risky if you fail. I have lost some matches, but like I learned about that. Meaning I failed the submission, and then the top guy was awarded an advantage for some reason for like almost passing my guard, even though I have them in a submission. Style points are great. No one wants to get tapped out with a reverse triangle. And then, my personal preference use. It's going A tier. Just throwing this out right now. I think I might move some of these around though. Yeah, now that I'm looking at A tier, I'm gonna make some changes here. So let me move everything over. So it's gonna go in. Okay, it's going in top of A tier, but I want to make some changes to A tier real quick while I'm here. Actually, let's just do the rest of it, and I can make it later. I'll go over at the end and just kind of go through it. But yeah, top of A tier. It's not S tier, but it's top of A tier. The Scissor Choke. Somebody somebody submitted something called the Scissor Lock, and this is what came up when I searched it. So I don't know if that's what you're looking for. Usually lock implies like a breaking thing, but it's basically when they wrap your legs around your head. This is a great submission. I think it's super good paired with the Kimura. Again, Kimura coming up again with just another thing that it pairs with. It's going at least B tier. I don't think it can get but the baseball choke seems like another hard gatekeeper. Like I feel like everything above the baseball choke is just like not gimmicky. Not that these other things are gimmicky, but like these are. I mean, I feel like these are things that like everybody does. Whereas like below that, maybe not so much. Although I feel bad with this calf slicer right here. Where's the bicep slicer? Down here. They're good, but they're different. Not that being different's bad, but all right. Yeah, I'm gonna put that right in here. Oh, don't crash on me now. Come on, website. I'm using. If anybody wants to try this, by the way, there are better websites I think for the actual tier list where like it'll move automatically and resize it. But I had to do so much prep. It would have taken a long time to do that. Whereas this program, Kapwing, kapwing.com. I'll put it in the description below. It let me do this pretty quickly. It took me about like an hour to get this all set up with the words and everything. Otherwise, I would have to sit here and like I could have explained each one as I went. I just totally jumped over all these. I'll go back. The Teepee Choke. This is where you extend your legs and choke them in like a triangle guard kind of thing. It's good. I don't think it's super gimmicky. I'm looking at C tier right now. I mean, it's good. Like I feel like everything above C is just like it's a good submission. Like it'll work. I've been stuck in it before too. It sucks. I'm gonna put it in front of the Bulldog Choke. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna put it. Yeah, right here. Let's go back up here. The Smother Choke. So this is when you get on top of somebody in a mountain, you just smother them with your chest. It is effective. Where do we want to put the Smother Choke? I'm looking at B, but I'm also looking at C. It's pretty good. I feel like it belongs in C, though. Honestly, it might go right next to the Teepee Choke. I'm hesitant to put this here, but that might get changed later. I might change my mind on that. Oof, this is a pretty brutal one. The Suloev Stretch. It's like a hamstring submission. I saw this for like the first time, maybe like a month or two after I destroyed my hamstring. So definitely was like, oh my God. It's good. It's so hard to do, but I didn't put that in my thing. I didn't put ease of use. Actually, it's not even that hard. It's not that hard. You have to take the back, essentially. You know what? I think we have a new king of the beat here. Yeah, I'm gonna say that we have a new king of the B tier here because it's just it's such a devastating submission, and it's honestly it's not that hard. I hesitate to say it because I haven't gone for it hard. Why did I just resize that? I haven't gone for it hard before, but I have gone for it, and I didn't want to like I've never done it before, so I didn't want to like destroy somebody's leg because I didn't know how to do it. But it wasn't that hard to like get into the position. So I'm gonna put that top of B. The Gogoplata, another Kimura adjacent submission. Gogoplata is good. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you like aren't facing them. Like I feel like you're really committing to a submission, which I mean it's a submission, but I just feel like I don't know. I wonder if it's kind of similar to an Omoplata when you come up on it, like where you end up. It's definitely better. It's definitely. I mean, it's B tier for sure. I think it goes. I think it goes between Ezekiel and Arm and Guillotine. Honestly, I think that's where that belongs. So let me move these over real quick. Yeah, just because. I mean, it's a really good submission. It's strong. It will jack your arm up. It's really hard to deal with. I need to work on it more. And I know a bunch of guys in the gym have gotten it down just based off of like how they move. I've recommended that they work on it, and they've been having a lot of success with it. So, yeah. The Texas cloverleaf. This is not the Texas cloverleaf, the picture, but I just couldn't find a picture of it. It's where you get into cross ashi and you get the double trouble, and then you weave your hand through both of their legs, come over the top, and you get like a knee bar esque turning, twisting kind of submission. So not what the WWE move there is. With that being said, though, I think it's I think this is a C tier. Not I think it's definitely a C tier. Does it go to the bottom? Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's like super hard to defend. And when I've tried it against good guys, like and I can do it pretty well. I'm not great at it. Ooh, I was wondering if we had any. Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to the triangle yet. Jeez. We do have some more heavy hitters. The toe hold. Toe hold's great. It's A or S. I think it's top of A. Yeah, honestly. It's not as controlling as a reverse triangle though. But it pairs. Where did I put the knee bar? It does pair with the knee bar. I think it goes second in A tier right now. I think it needs to be close to the knee bar because they pair so nicely. Ooh, okay. All right. Now this we'll see how this goes. I know I separated the reverse triangle specifically, but you have the back triangles, the front triangles. Generally we think of the front triangle, but I'm just looping them in as a triangle in general as a finish. The reverse triangle as a finish actually. Now I'm thinking about it, I barely finish the reverse triangle. That's usually but it's such a good utility setup for much like the Kimura, just like for those other things. That's why I put it there. So with that being said, it's S tier. They can be hard to hit. I mean, depending on your size, but they're so good. I mean, they're iconic, right? It's the iconic like JiuJitsu choke, but it is S tier. Just where in S tier are we going with it? Is it above an armbar? You can hit an armbar from a triangle. I think it's bottom S tier. Is it bad to have more S tiers than A tiers? I feel like maybe I need to redo this at the end. I don't know. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna resize these things. All right, I got triangle chokes here, bottom of S tier. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about it. I guess it's fine to have a bunch in the S tier. I mean, they're superb, right? They're like the top of the pyramid, however you want to describe it. Submissions. So I think it's fine. All right. The Tricep Slicer. This is one that I've been using a bunch. It definitely works on smaller opponents, but I've had a hard time hitting it on larger opponents. I think it's C tier. It's good. It pairs really nicely with the razor armbar, which we have not gotten to yet, and just a straight armbar. Where does it belong in the C tier? Is it the bottom? I think it's above a forearm slicer. I definitely hit it more than a forearm slicer. Maybe I have to move some of these around. Let's see. Yeah, I think it goes right here. Ooh, a twister. Twisters are good. A little hard to get to, but they are good. That's actually going to go... I mean, it's high B or A. Just right off the bat. I don't have a lot of room. I will be honest, though, if I have to put it in A, but I don't know if it goes A. I think it goes right behind the Suloev Stretch. I'm just looking at the A ones. What do I have here? I mean, it's such a devastating submission. As far as like what it does to you, I mean, it might be the most brutal on the list, right? Like it's a spinal crank, minus like the can opener, which now that I'm saying that I have the can opener in D tier, so that's not criteria enough just to put it somewhere just because of how devastating it is. Yeah, I think that's second in the B tier here. A lot of B tier. B tiers, they're just like, they're good submissions. Like they're just good, right? Like they're not like bad. A little weird to get to, kind of situational, but they're just good all around submission. All right, please don't mind the picture. This is the best one I could find, but it's the Razor Armbar. I'm terrible at this thing. I've always been really bad at it, but it's a good submission. It's definitely B. Where in B does it go? I think it's high B. I think it goes right here between the Gogoplata and the arm and guillotine here. I mean, it's a good submission. I always have a hard time. I don't know why. I always have a hard time like finding the elbow. It's something I definitely need to work on. But it's not on like high importance of my list of things. It's funny. I have like these random deficiencies that like you wouldn't think that I would have based off the rest of my game. Like I'm very like armbar, Kimura heavy, butterfly guard, which lends itself to those submissions. So yeah. Next we have, we're winding down here. We're down to our last four. The Vaporizer. That I believe is a calf slicer, and that is not something I've done before. I also think it's kind of also convoluted, but probably good. I mean, I think it's just so, like, how do you get there? I don't know. This is an ignorant take, but I'm putting that C tier. I'm putting that D tier. A little bit probably ignorant on my side if somebody wants to educate me at some point, but I just don't. I don't know. So it's not good. Von Vlu choke. Love this choke. This is fantastic. Just straight up. That's a great choke. It's a response of somebody holds a guillotine on top and or on bottom, excuse me. They're on bottom and you proceed to get on top of them and get a cross body. So like a side control essentially. I think very highly of this choke. I think you might be surprised on where I put it. I'm debating right now. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. Yeah, I have to adjust the field a little bit. Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm putting it low A tier. It's that good. Don't mind these. They're not F tier. But our last two, coming down to it, we have the wrist lock. Wrist locks are good, but I don't really get caught with them. But they are good. They are effective. They do cause movement. But it's kind of, I feel like this is a utility placement more than its submission itself. But, okay, I'm looking at B tier right now. Let me see. I want to put this over here. I'm looking at B tier. Is it better than the... I feel like it's so ridiculous to say it's like, you know, better than sushi, right? Like, that's obnoxious. Or better than lomo saltado, right? Like, I think I'm going to have that for dinner. I'm a little hungry. Yeah. This is a hard one. A wrist lock. A wrist lock. Is it better than these even? And these seem so ridiculous. No. I mean, now that I think about it, no. It's like such a ridiculous thing but they are effective. I use them. I don't like them. I feel dirty when I do. I'm going to put it C, bottom of C. I'll keep the Texas Clover Leaf lower. Wrist lock. All right, and last but not least, at least by any means, the Z lock. And this is kind of like a variation that's not even as effective as it can be. The Z lock. Z lock is good. Z lock is really good. It is pretty ridiculous to get into, though. So with that in mind, I'm thinking B tier. I'm thinking B tier, and I'm thinking right between paper cutter and clock choke. Yeah. Oops, I gotta move that down first. Yeah, I'm thinking that's it, and that'll do it. Actually, let me review. Let me go through these. So, should I start from the top or the bottom? I think I should start from the bottom. So the oil check, just a joke. Double armbar, not good. Body triangle as a submission, not good. Footlock from the back, it happens. Not even. That's F. Like, don't get caught with that. Can opener, you can escape. Boston crab. Neon belly is a submission. Okay, so like the rest, basically beyond the Boston crab, these are all things that like definitely can submit you. Not that these can't, but these are like very avoidable. I guess past the neon belly. Well, neon belly, yeah. So Gogoplata, no. Lockdown vaporizer, yeah. Texas Clover Leaf wrist lock. I'm not gonna repeat all these. Let me just go through. Let's see, smother, yeah. I'm liking these, yeah. I feel okay about all these. Let's make that a little bigger. Do I like the electric chair there? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. I want to make some changes here. I think this actually, the north-south choke goes above all these guys. To be honest. It's such a bad position to be in. But the Darce, I feel like that Darce is the next gatekeeper too. It was just like this. These could all be S tier. The reverse triangle. That's definitely personal preference. But hey, I think it's that good. And then triangle. Remember it reads, the best is all the way on the left, and then it goes to the right, and then obviously down. So just triangle chokes, armbar above that, guillotine, heel hook, arm triangle, bow and arrow choke, Kimura, rear naked choke. Okay, now let's look at this heel hook. Yeah, just because like I'm looking at these four and like there's no escape. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, if you screw up a heel hook, you definitely can escape. Like, if you don't trap them correctly, that you can escape. But if you're just in these submissions, I mean, this one's still possible. But, like, if you're in a correct bow and arrow choke, like, what are you doing? You're not getting out. If you're in a correct Kimura and, like, they're applying it, yeah, I'm happy with this list. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing. I'll put the list. I'll take a picture of it. I'll post it on my social medias. So definitely check those out if you want to take a look at the picture. And if you want to do your own list, I'll put the text file of the list too. And yeah, if you want to be on the regular show, check out the description below and get a video out to me. I review submissions or jiu-jitsu rounds. I'm over 300 episodes at this point, so definitely take a look. And I think this is gonna be my longest video to date. What are we at? Ooh, over an hour. I'm probably gonna tone it down a little bit in post, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope this was fun. I'll do some more of these. Let me know what you want me to do next. If you want to do like sweeps or different guards or passes, I don't know. All right, guys, have a lovely day.